Property disclosures, the real estate professional's guide to reducing risk. Chapter 3 continued, page 30. Have qualified professionals to do the work. Contact the National Lead Information Center for a list of contacts in your area. The phone number is 1-800-424-LEAD. Trained professionals use a range of methods when checking a home. These include visual inspection of paint condition and location, a portable X-ray fluorescence XRP machine, lab tests of paint samples, surface dust tests. Requirements for federally assisted housing. Federally assisted housing has new and different disclosure, testing, and remediation requirements. The new rule went into effect on September 15th, 2000. HUD issued rules require notification, evaluation, and reduction of lead-based paint hazards in housing that receives federal assistance. Covered properties include housing that receives a federal subsidy, such as Project-Based Section 8. Housing occupied by a family that receives a voucher or certificate. Public housing. Federally owned housing in the process of being sold. Multifamily housing in the process of requesting a federal mortgage. Housing that receives federal assistance for rehabilitation or other purposes. Lead-based paint pre-renovation rules. What is covered? Any renovation work that disturbs more than 2 square feet of paint in target housing is subject to the rule. Plumbing, drywall, painting, electrical work, replacement of doors or windows, or any other activity that disturbs more than 2 square feet is considered renovation. Emergency work is excluded from the rule. This would include non-routine situations that could either present a safety or public health hazard, or threaten substantial property damage. Who is covered? The rule applies to anyone who performs renovation for compensation, including barter as well as money, including contractors, owners, maintenance staff, handy persons, and so forth. The renovator is the person required to provide the information. What information is required? It is required that the renovator provide a lead hazard information pamphlet prior to renovation to the owner and also to the tenant, if any. Page 31. Provide a notice of timing if the work is to be done in a common area of housing with more than 4 or more separate units. All residents must receive information on the timing and extent of the renovations in addition to the pamphlet. Following notice procedures. Hand deliver mail, or slip under the door, following specific rules, and obtain signatures on certifications of receipt, or complete alternative steps. Keep records for at least 3 years. When to give notice. Notice must be given at least 7 days, but no longer than 60 days prior to renovation. The EPA has published a pamphlet entitled Reducing Lead Hazards When Remodeling Your Home. The pamphlet is available at the website at http://www.epa.gov. Environmental Protection Agency. In 1998, the EPA imposed the first civil penalties totaling $439,725 for failure to disclose information on lead-based paint. Complaints were brought against the U.S. Navy in Kingsville, Texas, 2 landlords in Philadelphia, and a realty firm in Ponca City, Oklahoma, for failing to disclose to their tenants information on lead-based paint. The disclosures are required by the Real Estate Notification and Disclosure Rule, a public right-to-know initiative under the Residential Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act of 1992. In all 4 cases, the properties contained lead-based paint and were occupied by families with young children. The complaints focused on the U.S. Department of the Navy in a case involving 11 housing units at a naval air station. The units were occupied by enlisted personnel and their families, which included children younger than 6. A realty company in Oklahoma in a case involving a young child living in a house with lead-based paint. A couple who leased an apartment with lead-based paint to a mother with a 3-year-old child, even after the city of Philadelphia declared the apartment unit unfit for human habitation. A landlord in a case involving a mother with 2 children younger than 6. The landlord received a reduced penalty for complying with an order to remove the lead-based paint in the apartment. According to the EPA's Assistant Administrator for Enforcement and Compliance, EPA will continue to take action against violators of the Disclosure Rule, an important public right-to-know initiative. There is no more serious environmental problem in America's older homes than lead-based paint. Our young children and pregnant women are the most at risk and must be protected from lead poisoning. EPA has made extensive efforts to educate the real estate community on the requirements of the Disclosure Rule, and we will take strong enforcement action against violators.